There are the objectives that we made to be able to easily attach in this period. Number 1. To determine the different inventions during Renaissance period. 2. Seeking the importance of creating these inventions with hardships and lastly, realizing how these play a big role in the importance of life. When we say Renaissance period, the term Renaissance used to refer to the period of rebirths wherein it was age of preparation for the 17th century scientific development and achievements. From this Renaissance period also, have the greatest invention has been made to create more historical attributions and the knowledge that can get from it about science and technology. The Renaissance connects the period of Middle Ages to modern history. There are many inventions that have been made to this period that includes the inventions are printing press, woodblock printing, pendulum, eyeglasses, telescope, microscope, barometer, musket, thermometer, watch, flush toilet, adding machine, map making, carousel, astrolabe, submarine, slider rule, mechanical clock, cannons, wrench, screwdriver, wallpaper, scales for weighing, parachute, and blood transfusion. And here we go to the greatest invention that we choose. During Renaissance, there have many greatest inventions that been made as of 14th to 17th century. One of these inventions is the telescope of this period. It is not known who first invented the telescope, but Hans Lippershey was the first person to patent this. He is a Dutch spectacle maker that also known as Johann Lippershey, the one who first tried and built and invented the telescope that focusing on a concave eyepiece aligned with a convex objective lens. The first telescope is made in 1608 in the late 16th century. It also seems that Galileo Galilei also invented the telescope, but he did not invent. He did make several improvements to clearly understand his sight. He is a major Renaissance scientist persecuted to improve telescope in order to discover new celestial bodies and found support for heliocentric solar system. To create more knowledgeable understanding when it comes with dealing in the world of science and who made fundamental contributions to the science of motion, astronomy, and strength of materials to the development of the scientific method. The telescope is one of the humankind's most important inventions. This is useful to form magnified images of distant objects. In astronomy, telescope is an important investigative tool in it. Therein, the far reaches of the universe provides a means of collecting and analyzing radiation from celestial objects. This opened our eyes in the universe. The early telescope showed that Earth was not the center of the universe. And also it showed that mountains and craters in the moon. From now, it helps us understand the light that radiates from the sun and other stars. And now, telescopes are now discovering planets around other stars.
One of the greatest inventions in the Renaissance period is printing press. Printing press, the most important invention of the Renaissance period, and perhaps in the history of the world. It was invented by German Johannes Gutenberg around 1440. Johannes was a political exile from Mainz, Germany, when he began experimenting in printing in Strasbourg, France in 1440. He returned to Mainz several years later. By 1450, he had printing machine perfect and ready to use. Printing press became the most important invention in Renaissance period. Because in 15th century, it is an innovation, enable people to share knowledge more quickly and widely. The printing press allowed the information to be distributed to wide audience. This helped to spread new scientific discovery as well as allowing scientists to share their work and learn from each other. movable printing press helped to disseminate knowledge wider and faster than ever before.
The last invention that we choose during the Renaissance period is the eyeglasses. There are many dilemmas about invention of glasses according to some sources. The invention of the first wearable pair of eyeglasses occurred in the 13th century in Italy. Silvino de Armate probably invented eyeglasses in around 1285, though various sources suggest an earlier origin. He shared the invention of his new device with Alessandro della Spina, an Italian monk who made it public and is often credited with inventing eyeglasses. The first glasses had frames made of metal or bone and had lenses made out of quartz because the opticians of the time didn't have the capabilities of producing flawless lenses in glass. In the 14th century, Venetian craftsmen were making discs for the eyes. Italians have these glass discs that were finely grounding lenses because they were similar in shape to lentil beans. The earliest lenses were convex, the bulbs outward in the middle, and they were used to correct farsightedness. In the 1451, Nicholas of Pisa in Germany produced eyeglasses to aid people who were nearsighted using concave lenses that were thinner at the center and thicker at the ends. Early eyeglasses had glass lenses set into heavy frames of wood, lead, or copper. Natural materials of leather, bone, and horn were later used for production of frames. In the early 17th century, lighter frames of steel were invented. The modern style of eyeglasses frame, which could be placed over the ears and nose, was invented in 1727 by British opticians Edward Scarlett. American scientist and philosopher Benjamin Franklin is credited with the inventions of bifocals, dividing his lenses for distance and near vision. These two lenses were held together in a metal frame. Sir George Biddell Airy, an English astronomer and mathematician, invented glasses to correct astigmatism in 1827, which were meant to be held by hand. Later glasses were designed to be held in place by ribbon or by exerting pressure on the bridge of the nose, such as with pince-nez. Construction of frames also improved over the centuries, and today they are made in wide array of styles and designs. Frames are generally produced of metal or plastic, and lenses are produced of glass or plastic. In 1955, the unbreakable lenses were invented. In 1971, a new lens were developed which combined the properties of plastic with glass.